No, Martin Luther King had a brother that was found murdered in 1969 in the pool the very next year. How many of y'all know? Did y'all know Martin Luther King's mom? Well, his mom was murdered in the church in 1974. Did y'all know that? While she was playing the organ. So Martin Luther King, his brother, and his mother all was killed. Guess who was left alive? No, Martin Luther King Sr., the daddy. So they wiped out that whole movement. That whole movement. I'm talking about the family of the ones that was in the spotlight that was moving to help get us rights. So they took out Martin Luther King, they took out A.D. King, they took out the mother. Y'all see, so this was a cabin where it was like a whites only cabin, right? And you see here, right here where it says white only luggage, whites only cooler. Well, this is the stuff that our grandparents had to go through. We wasn't born into this era, but our grandparents was. And our grandparents made decisions so that y'all can live today to have the rights to change certain things, right? So you don't ever disrespect your elders. You hear me? Ever. You don't ever let nobody talk down on your elders. You don't ever let nobody call your elders sellouts. They made all the right decisions so that way you can have opportunities that you have today. But this is what, have y'all ever had to go somewhere where you had to sit in the back because you was black? No, but your grandmothers and them did, okay? Let's go. Now you see here? Now we hit, now come on.
That's the only.
Now that says colored water cooler only. So we had to sit in the back. All right, come on. Look, restrooms in the colored section used by African Americans are smaller and lack a lounge area. There are no oversized luggage bins. So there was no luggage bins. The bathrooms were smaller. All the accommodations for us was wrong. So even when they had Plessy versus Ferguson in 1896 in Louisiana, when Plessy wouldn't get up, they said that they ruled it that they can have separate but fair. But when they separated us, it was never fair. We never got all the things that we should get. So this is why we always fought for our equal justice, because the bathrooms wasn't fair, the accommodations was never fair. All right? Civil Rights Act 57, 60, 68, 64, 65, and all these different civil rights acts, and the laws that was on the books was never enforced. And this is why you have an African American museum that's telling you about all the things, the atrocities and things that we went through. But they also show you all the good things that we actually did too. It doesn't just consist of just us getting killed or bad things. It consists of us inventing things. Do y'all know that it was a black woman that invented the first home alarm system? All the home alarm systems that people use all over the world. A black woman, Mary Van Britten, is the first black woman. She invented the home alarm system. Everybody that uses a home alarm system, when you think of home alarm systems, you think of a black woman. You tell people, put some respect on our name. Because we invented so much stuff that y'all don't know. Our life don't just consist of us getting home and getting beaten by white people. We can everything that we invented in the 21st century. So y'all need to know that we was reading math, we was reading science, we can read, we can do all these different things, right? So our life ain't just real music and real nigga and all that kind of stuff. We come from great people. But we need to know that we come from great people so we can begin to be people. All right? Come here, y'all. Come here. Now, you know how they give y'all the story? They always tell y'all that we were slaves and all those different things. Y'all show y'all images of us hanging from trees. Well, come here. This is the story of Toussaint, Haiti, and the Haitian Revolution. They don't really tell you this story, but this is the story when the Africans fought back and actually won. So when you see Haiti on the news and it's all poor, Haiti is poor because what Haiti represents in the Western Hemisphere. and how we kicked the Europeans behind. Louisiana Purchase was made because we kicked the French butt. They ran out of money. So, and we did it without the weapon. We beat the greatest army in the world at that time, just with the limited weapons and things that we had. But it's not their job to tell you our story. So that's not our core problem. This is one of our core problems. He's the enemy to fight. He's not. You have to know the history of your people. So from 1790 all the way through 1804, we was kicking behind. So the Haitian Revolution represents. Their job to tell you our stories. So that's not our core problem. This is one of our core problems. He's the enemy to fight. Y'all know where this is at? This is in West Philly, on 63rd and Osage Avenue. They had to rebuild. They had to rebuild the block. So this is the city that we come from. You had the mayor. Who was the mayor at the time? Y'all wasn't born. It was Wilson Good. Wilson Good. You had DA Lynn Abraham, and they gave the okay to drop a C4 bomb on a city block in a residential area. A C4 is a bomb, a military grade bomb in 1985. And no, guess what though? They killed a bunch of black people and nobody went to prison for this. Nobody went to prison for this. That's what I'm saying. They dropped the bomb. So the only time in U.S. history they ever dropped the bomb was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But this is the bomb here. Look, you saw that? That's the event. I was. Peace, family. Let me know if you guys can. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Coming in. Let me set up. Make sure you guys can hear me real good. Just give me a second. I'm coming in. I had some technical difficulties. Yeah, there I go. You guys can see me. Yeah, I ain't been live in a minute, man. Doug, what's good? What's good, man? What's going on? I want to talk to the people today, man, about some stuff going on. I felt compelled to go live because I felt like there's some things going on that need to be talked about. But put a 1 in the chat if my sound is good. Let me know if my sound is good before I start. I need to know if my sound is good. If my sound is good, let me know. And then we go from there. All right. They're saying y'all can hear me, right? I want to talk about this Cincinnati brawl, but I also want to talk about a couple other things, right? I want to talk about this UN 2030 agenda that's not being talked about. I want to talk about the country right now under surveillance in our computer system and how the country is under surveillance on so many different levels. I also want to talk about, hold on a second, yeah. I also want to cover some other things, you know, this Umar Johnson situation a little bit more. But I want to start off first. Let me see, hold on a second. I want to start off first. I want to really talk to you guys, man, because, you know, we have the situation online where we're talking about this FBA stuff, the situations with the Africans and the immigrants and, you know, the migrant situations. And this is the thing, what I always say, when you're dealing with FBA, Foundational Black Americans, right? And we're saying that we're foundational Black Americans. I want you guys to understand something, that we don't have no friends and we're under attack. And if we're going to say that we're foundational Black Americans, then it has to become a practice. It has to become an everyday lifestyle. Now, I want to talk to my family for a minute, the diaspora family. I want to talk to my Jamaican brothers, whom I love, my Haitian brothers and sisters whom I love, my African brothers whom I love, right? The ones that's 10 toes down, the ones that understand what's going on and understand our plight as Black Americans, right? I want you guys to understand something. When you talk about the separating or delineating, right? When you guys hear us say that we're separating ourselves where you're not able to use that term people of color, POC, or Black, because anybody can come here and be Black. It doesn't separate us as a group, right? When you guys come, you guys are Jamaican. You're separated as a Jamaican. You guys are separated as a Haitian. You guys are separated as a Nigerian, right? And this is why it's so easy for a lot of you guys to come and say we don't have no culture, because Black America's door is just open for everybody to come and extract from. Everybody come and extract from. And then you guys will turn around and say that we don't have any culture, right? While at the same time, you guys will say that you have culture. So what we're saying is, no, you guys can no longer come in and open up the door and just extract. You guys have to respect the people that's in that house when you open up the door to extract. There are people there. We actually exist. You know that, right? We are a people. We actually exist. See, you can fly your flags and you can acknowledge your people and your culture, but we're not allowed to. That's the problem. And the reason why it's a problem for you guys is because you guys we're saying that you can't benefit from what we established here now without showing the proper respect. See, you come here, you can go to HBCUs, you can get the benefits, you can go to the white colleges, you can get the benefits, all from the rights of what my ancestors fought here. So let me say to some of the Africans online that's saying disparaging things about Black Americans. Let me say this. And see, with me, I'm not saying this to cause division or be disrespectful. I don't think that every immigrant is a tether, right? But every tether is immigrant. Because a tether is nothing, it's the same, it's equivalent to a Black American being a coon or a Sambo. A tether is equivalent to a Black American being a coon or a Sambo. Now, let me say this to some of my family that's from the Caribbean or Africa that's tone deaf. Most of us out here with sense, we're not saying that we hate you guys. We're saying that you got to come and show the proper respect. The same as we would show if we were in your country. Understand our history and our story and our plight. Don't you dare ever part your lips to say that we don't have culture. That's like the ultimate disrespect that you can ever say, because remember, you guys came here when the coast was clear. You guys, the only reason why you're in America today because you saw successful Black people. So for my Nigerian family, stop saying that you're doing better than us. You're not doing nothing that we ain't already done. We did it already. We did it so that way you could come here and do it. You looked over the hill and you saw successful Black people and you said, well, maybe I could go to America because there's people that look like me already doing it. That's why you came here. Check. That's why you came here. You came here because you saw successful Black people. So for you to say that we don't have culture or you're doing better than us is disrespectful. That's the first thing. The second part is the xenophobia stuff that I'm hearing coming out of people's mouths. I live in the city of Philadelphia, one of the blackest cities in America. Probably one of the cities with the richest history of Black people in America. Running from the South, first Black Renaissance, Philadelphia, crossing that southern line into Philadelphia where you be free. So we have an influx of all kinds of Black people. My African family, when you use the word xenophobic, you walk through Philadelphia and Newark, New Jersey, and Wilmington, Delaware, Camden, New Jersey, all these areas of Philadelphia you walk through. Nobody's attacking you or unaliving you. You're not worried about Black Americans, so stop using that term xenophobic because we're voicing our opinions online about you. For you to use the term xenophobic when you live in Philadelphia and Black Americans don't bother you, we patronize your stores. When we had the riots, nobody burned down any of your buildings. Not one window was broken. So stop using the term xenophobic because that's a bad way to explain whatever your frustration may be.
But to use the term xenophobic is disrespectful to us. Hold on for a second, y'all. Let me put this. Let me do this real fast. Let me do this real fast, y'all. If I can, give me 1 second. What? How the hell do I get this on there? Never mind. Big E, what's going on, Big E? And this is the thing. You guys are using the term xenophobic, and it's dangerous. And you know you're wrong. And Houston, you ain't running for your life from black people. We're not practicing xenophobia on you guys. We're voicing our opinions on the disrespect. You guys are doctors here, and you're doing great. But let me newsflash to my African family. Let me educate you on something. My grandparents fought for you to come here so we can get our numbers up, so we can be one people against white supremacy. We fought so that way we can get our numbers up, so we can have equal amount of numbers to fight against the system. Not for you to come here and you actually practice verbal xenophobia on us, mental xenophobia on us. Coming here thinking that you were better than us. Coming here thinking that we were lazy and we didn't take advantage of our opportunities. We didn't fight for you guys to come here for that. We saw the way that you were being treated in your countries. And my grandparents and parents fought for you to come here so you can have a better life for yourself. That's what that was for. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I want to put this thing in the let me see. Hold on 1 second. I want to type this thing in because I want to put this thing in so you guys can see it in my chat. Give me 1 second. Let me get the link to that. Copy. I'm trying to get these links. Give me a second real fast, y'all. Just bear with me 1 second. URBANNER. 1 second. Damn, I don't know if I can get it on here. All right, forget it. I'm gonna have to put it on. I'm gonna put this in the group chat so I can pin it to the top. Just give me a second. My mind's in there. Can y'all put my put my the Urban Nerds Foundation website in there, so if they want to donate, they can donate to through PayPal or Venmo on our website as we coming in from my mods. Could y'all put my that in there for me, and I'll put the Cash App link in the thing and pin it to the top. I didn't get a chance to put my stuff in there. Want to put that to the top, and then I'll get on with the. Let me pin that to the top. Just give me a second. Damn, I'm over here struggling. You can tell I ain't been live in a minute. I'm over here trying to get this thing on here so I can pin it. All right, there we go. How the hell do I why didn't give me the link to pin it? All right, hold on. Give me a second, y'all. There we go. All right. So I pinned that to the top. All right, so let's get back to it. All right. So yeah, if you guys want to donate, you can donate through my website. You can donate through our Urban Nerds website, through PayPal, Venmo, or you also can donate through our Cash App. We got some stuff coming up at the end of the summer. Our trips you saw in the intro, some of the stuff that we're doing, and we got those things coming up. So let me get back to the situation with the these Africans and the immigrants. We fought for you guys to come here so we can get our numbers up. Now, A. Philip Randolph, one of the greatest foundational Black Americans of all time, had a problem with immigration back in the 30s because he understood that when they came here, they wasn't echoing the sentiments of what we were fighting for. And you seeing remnants of that today. The other part of this going forward is a lot of Black Americans. Now, we had a Pan-African thought for many years. And what I've noticed online is a lot of Black Americans, you guys don't have a problem with calling out Black Americans for our shortcomings. But when we call out the immigrants, the Africans or the Caribbeans, you make all kinds of excuses for them, right? Us calling them out don't mean we hate them. Do you have some rogue people that's online and say some weird stuff sometimes? Yeah, I don't support that. I don't really believe, I'm not really with all the fighting and arguing amongst each other. I just think the foundation of Black Americans need to tighten up and need to focus on what they need to be focused on. And we need to get our stuff straight. So that way we're not letting them merge our issues into people of color or allowing other groups to benefit that's supposed to be specifically for us. That should be dealt with. That should be talked about. Right. And we should be allowed to talk about that without Black Americans bringing up. Why you always talking about the Africans or the Caribbeans? We need to focus on our Black and what's going on. We already know what we need to focus on in our communities. That's not the topic. The topic is about when other groups come here and they undermine us. Right. Do you know that for the National Reparations Committee, you have a Black woman on there and she's Jamaican? Make that make sense. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? We gotta tighten up, family. We gotta get our stuff together. And I'm seeing this stuff, and I've been doing videos on this topic, and it's been getting big views, right? Big views. People have been talking about it, and we having a conversation. And just because you Pan-African don't mean you can't criticize Africa. Just because you pro-Black or Black first don't mean that you can't criticize Africa for their wrongs. A lot of them come here and they have they say real bad things about us. It's the truth. Does that mean it's all Africans? No. But we're not going to sit and act like they don't do it. We're not going to sit and act like they don't believe that we don't have culture. We're not going to sit here and act like the things that we created, they attribute it to them. Because it all started in Africa. That's what they say. So now if you have a people around you that have that mindset, they will never, ever respect your plight. We have to get some straightening. That has nothing to do with being xenophobic. You have to respect the fact that we are a people that had an ethnogenesis. We are here. We've been here for a long time. And here we created our own thought process, the way we dress, talk, walk, move, eat, everything. And we influence the world. Everybody watches it. That don't mean that we think we better than everybody. We just love ourselves. And we want to, when you come into our home, we want you to respect us and why we fought for you to come here. So if you're a Nigerian and you're a doctor, kudos to you. Shout out to you. But don't turn around with you being a doctor and saying that those Black Americans are lazy. It's because of the Black Americans that you're here and you're a doctor, that you had the opportunity to become a doctor. Because obviously in your country, you didn't have the opportunity to do it and make the living that you're making here. It's obvious that you guys in your countries, you wouldn't have had the opportunities that you have here based off of us. So what I've noticed is when we saying that we want to separate, that takes away from the opportunities that you would have just by being Black. And that's what you have a problem with. Because Black people are starting to wake up and understand that we do have culture and it's time for us to gatekeep it. And me saying this ain't throwing shade on nobody else. It ain't throwing shade on nobody else. It's just the truth. And we have to be able to talk about these things, right? We have to be able to talk about these things where we can get some clarity. Right, without it going into a place or a space where people think that you're hating or you're practicing xenophobia. I have a problem with Africans online saying that in regards to us. Don't you dare! Like you got a lot of nerve to use the word we're being xenophobic. Who the hell do you think you are? You walk through New York City and the East Coast corridor, and you are not running from your life from Black Americans at all. So if you are upset with us saying we want to separate, use some better words to describe what your issues are, but don't use that term xenophobic, because that's a blatant lie. It's a blatant lie. And I want to talk about, before I get to the Cincinnati, before I get to the Cincinnati brawl thing, I want to discuss something for a minute. I want to go backwards, and I want to go backwards about 4 or 5 years backwards for a minute, because I want to talk about something that's going to lead up to the Cincinnati brawl. I want to correlate it all together, right? What I want to do is I'm going to share my screen real fast. Let me hit on this. I'm gonna share my screen real fast, because I think that we're losing sight of some things that some cleaning up that needs to be dealt with, right? I want you guys to understand, right? With that Cincinnati brawl, you had JD Vance come out and he spoke about it. He's putting gasoline on an already fire, right? You have your vice president of the United States of America coming out and speaking out on that brawl where those W folks were caught a beat down from some black folks, right? And W America is outraged and they're upset, right? And we already have a preconceived notion about our image and the way that we're looked at across America, right? We've been fighting for our image and the way that we're portrayed for many years, right? And they tell us that we're criminals, we're thugs. They even use the term thug to describe these black people that was in the fight with these W folks. They use the term thugs, right? And this is the way that they view us. But let's look at this, because I don't want us to lose sight of this, right? A new report highlights persistent racial disparities amongst wrongful convictions, right? Innocent black people are 19 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of drug crimes. Now I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna get off into something, right? Because I'm gonna correlate this to the Cincinnati brawl. I don't want them. Right? Here we go. Watch this, right? A new report on race and wrongful convictions has confirmed some alarming racial disparities in the criminal legal system. Entitled Race and Wrongful Convictions in the United States 2022, the report, which analyzes exonerations for murder, sexual assault, and drug crimes since 1989, was published today by the National Registry of Exonerations. So this is the National Registry, right? And I want y'all to understand the psychological thing that they do to us and to W America, and how they get away with the things that they do to us, right? And why our reparations claim is so strong, right? Was published today by the National Registry of Exonerations, a research project of 3 universities that documents and studies exonerations and wrongful convictions. To date, the registry has documented more than 3,200 people exonerations in the last 33 years, and more than half of those people are black, according to the new study. I'm gonna come down here, right? The report really shows the depth of the belief that race is a proxy to criminality. Race is a proxy to criminality. Now, mind you, the way that the media is handling this Cincinnati brawl, and they calling the W folks victims and the black people thugs. Now, y'all need to stay here. I don't need to see the numbers dropping when I'm doing this. You can't say you FBA and you want change, and you got somebody on here teaching you. You need to stay here, and the numbers need to go up. Y'all need to share this video on what I'm about to show today, and we should go from 5,500 people here to at least 100 if we FBA. I need all FBAs to get in here on deck, because I'm about to show you something that's alarming. That's alarming. And we got to get past the talking points and start showing what they're doing, because you have to show the enemy what he's doing to you. Watch this. Watch this, right? The report really shows the depth of the belief that the race is a proxy of criminality. And the criminal legal systems, Innocence Project Executive Director Christina Swan, while the study examined the data of exonerees of all races, national criminal justice statistics are not complete or accurate enough to follow up for meaningful systematic comparisons of wrongfully convicted Latino people, Asian people, indigenous people, and other populations. But the report's findings on disparities and wrongful convictions between white and black Americans are damning. and reflect what we've seen in our work in the Innocence Projects. Watch this. While Black people make up just 13.6% of the U.S. population, they accounted for, hold on, let's highlight this. While Black people make up just 13.6% of the U.S. population, they accounted for 53% of exonerated people. Similarity of those approximate 240 people in the Innocent Project has helped free. So while they say that we creating all the crime in America, right? We make up across the whole system 53% of all exonerations. So that totally wipes out the number, but they create this image in your mind to make you think that you a real nigga or a bad B, and you start to believe that you a real nigga or a bad B. Where they show you a small percentage in our communities of Black people that's committing these crimes, but they put that out to the minds of everybody. So when you see the Cincinnati Brawl and you have the vice president coming online calling Black people thugs, it makes everybody across the spectrum think that Black culture is thuggish, but not American culture. That's why they call it Black culture or urban culture, right? And we don't stop them in their tracks and say, no, that's urban, that's American culture. This is the culture of America, not Black folk. But they use these talking points and terms in the media, and they go and say victims. These victims. And then they go and say that these Black folks were the perpetrators and the W folks were victims. And when you get in the court system, they can wrongfully convict you because the judge already has a preconceived notion of the way America views Black people, the way the media views Black people, the way you're conditioned to see yourselves, to the point where you normalize this. Now, it's hard to wrap your head around how much of the failure this is, that we have jurisdiction that failed people this spectacularly, and then refuse to acknowledge it, and then refuse to sort of make it right. The weight of all of that and the burden of trying to correct all of that is carried by my clients, which is insane to be charitable. Now watch this, right? The National Registry of Exonerations report highlighted particularly shocking disparities between races among wrongful drug convictions. About 69% of people exonerated from drug crimes were Black, while 16% were white. Let that sink in, right? Despite studies showing that white and Black use illegal drugs at similar rates, and nearly 260 people were exonerated in individual cases. Now, I want you guys to understand something, right? We have these, we're being locked up at alarming, disproportionate rates. And then we're finding out that we're being exonerated. But they don't show you this part. They give you your 13% of the population and you commit all the crimes to the point where you start to believe it. That emboldens your vice president to come on national TV and say, hey, look at those thugs over there. They beat these W folks. So what do you think now the court system and the media is going to do to these 5 foundational Black Americans that's locked up now, that's charged with this crime, where America sees them as thugs because your vice president went on national TV and called them that? So now if Black people, foundational Black Americans alike, are not upset and we're not willing to take this thing to the next level, what's going to happen to these 5 Black people that defended themselves on July 25th in Cincinnati? What is going to happen to them? Are we going to sit here and allow them, the media, to do what they constantly have been doing to Black bodies across this country? What are we going to do? I'm asking all of my major platforms across the Black platforms, are you going to constantly every day follow this story? Every day. I'm asking everybody, because if you don't, they're going to do the same thing to these 5 people that they did to Ozone. They're going to do the same thing that they did to ozone. We represent 53% of all exonerations, but they don't tell you this. And the reason why we represent, hold on, let me stop sharing this for a minute. The reason why we represent 53% of all exonerations is because of the way they condition America to view you, family. They told you that they tell you every day that you're at the bottom of the barrel and you're less than. And they promote you as that. With everything that we've been through here in this country, in the United States of America, since its inception, if your vice president can come on TV and admit that he didn't see the full video, he didn't have the full story, and call those black people thugs and criminals and say they should be locked away, that lets you know we have a problem. And then you see that the way that the media is covering this. I'm asking black people. I'm asking black people out there. I'm going to name some names. My brother Tariq Nasheed, Phil Scott, the Black Authority, right? So many of the channels that go live that can get thousands of people. I'm asking, I hope that this is not a story that we follow 1 week, then the next week we just move on. I hope that this is a story that we push every day as grassroots and not allow them to push the same old narrative about black folk and throw these 5 people in the trash. Because white America is outraged. You have a woman, hold on a second. Let me pull her up. Where's she at? You have a city councilwoman. You have a city councilwoman that voiced her opinion, and we're going to share our screen. We're going to bring this sister up. And they're trying to get her to sit down. They're trying to get her to resign because of the statements that she made in regards to this case. W America is outraged. They can't believe that this city councilwoman was speaking in the manner in which she spoke. Because black people in America are not allowed to defend themselves. And when you do, you have to defend yourself in a manner in which they say that you can defend yourself. Now, there was a black man about a month ago that was in the gym, and he was beat down by 3 white men. And we didn't see this outrage. I mean, they overdid it. They beat him down. But it was normal because they're allowed to do it. But let's look at some of this video of this elder and what she said and why W America is so outraged. Check it out.
Why did you post it?
David, when I first saw the brawl, I was devastated. But then I realized that there was more to the story. And there was, which changed my point of view.
What was your point of view before, and what did it become?
Well, I had questions about why would they beat that man. I was devastated because I know that that is not the way our community behaves. And my question was, why would that occur? And it was not long after that I saw the first half of the video. And the answer was, this man agitated. David, I
want to pause it there. Did you hear what this elder said to this talking to this W man? She said, that's not the way my community behaves. Now they're upset with her because she's going against their norm. She's not supposed to say that. She's supposed to say that our community is full of hoodlums the way Obama did. full of thugs, the way Obama did. But this black woman is saying, you're not going to talk about my babies like that. You're not going to talk about my grandchildren like that. That's not the way my community behaves. Because the violence that you see in black communities is not the totality. It's not even more than half. That's the percentage of black folks. That's not the totality of black folks. So y'all gotta listen. Put your caps on. Listen to words. Listen to the way that they manipulate. And she's not letting them do it. She's not playing. She said that's not the way my community behaves. She's going against the norm, and she's a councilwoman, right? Listen, don't let him play you.
I really feel like he came with the same attitude as the people who arrived in Lincoln Heights, coming just in order to cause trouble.
The prosecutor is saying that the people who they are calling victims were out for a birthday dinner, and they were walking through this crowd, and words were exchanged. It looks like the Caucasian guy reaches out and slaps the face of one of the African American guys.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Is that what changed your mind?
It definitely is. Up until that point, there had been no physical contact, but I wrote what I wrote because I do believe that it's like this, David. You know, in this country, we have freedom of speech, but you can't run into a crowded theater and scream fire. And for the most part, that's what this man did when he reached out and smacked that man.
So you wrote, they begged for that beatdown. Does anyone deserve that kind of beatdown?
I will say this, nobody deserves a beating. There is such thing as inappropriate actions, and there are consequences.
Let me pause it for a minute. Now she's going against the grain because she's not supposed to. Now let me ask y'all a question. When do you hear black people in positions of leadership talk the way that she talked? Very rare, because our people, they cower out. They're afraid to stand on business and tell the truth. What we say at the dinner table, what we say amongst each other, they're not going to do or say, right? She's standing out on business and she's saying the truth. She's saying the truth. She's saying nobody deserves to get beat down like that. But when you cross the line and you go over there to that, you can't tell people how they should respond. But again, this man is trying everything he can do to try to get her to say something disparaging about those black people, and she won't do it.
To actions. And that is what my post meant.
You also said that you're grateful for the whole story. What did you mean by that?
Right. My question was, why would the community, why would a crowd of people jump on somebody like that? And then when I viewed the entire video, I discovered why. This man agitated the crowd. And you know, David, some people may not like what I said, but I said what I said.
I said what I said.
And you still stand by it.
I do.
Now you see that this is an elder, and she said some people might not like what I said, but I said what I said. This woman name is Victoria Park. She's a councilman, a city councilwoman. Excuse me, a city councilwoman in Cincinnati. She ain't supposed to be talking like this, Big E. Hey, Baby Lane, show me, hey, Baby Lane, where, hey, Naima, where the black city council people that come out and talk like this, that stand on business for black folks? Where they at? I'm looking for them. She said, I said what I said. She ain't backing down. She ain't changing. She don't care. They used to telling us what we should do and how we should do it, when we should do it. They used to telling us how we should think. They're very outraged, and they want her out of there. They want her gone.
So almost as much as this fight has received attention, your comments have received attention. Bernie Moreno, have you seen his comment about what you said? People from all over the country with a national stage are saying you should step down.
See this?
From your position.
She should step down from her position because she's not a good black. She's not good black folk. Because she's a black mother, a councilwoman with an opinion that goes against the norm of how black people should be viewed. She has to step down. Now, let me say this to my black immigrant family. This is why you guys are catching so much heat. Because as black Americans, as foundational black Americans, we're still fighting here. We're still fighting for our image. So when you guys come here and you start echoing the sentiments of W America and repeating their talking points, you become a problem. You're no longer an ally. This is the way the media still portrays us. So I want y'all to listen to what he's telling her, or what these W folks are saying she should step down. And you're going to have a lot of black people cower. I'm very interested across the country to see how black people in leadership, will they defend this woman? Will the black American, foundational black Americans defend this woman who has the courage to say something finally?
Because of those comments.
So what's your question?
Woo!
Do you think you should step down?
I'm not going anywhere. No.
You see his face when she said that? You see his face? See, we got to stop playing games, man. We got to stop playing games. We play too much. And we've been disrespected on all levels. She said, I ain't going nowhere. But she has enough courage to step aside and say something, despite what your vice president said.
Why?
Because this is my seat. I come to serve. In this country, I have a freedom of speech, and I am a grown woman. That night when I wrote on the internet, I meant it. That's the way I felt, and I'm not going to back down from it right now. In this city, we have worked so hard to build the kind of community where everybody feels welcomed and respected and expected. And I believe, just like the people who came to Lincoln Heights this past winter, that is an attack on our community. Now, nobody threw hands in Lincoln Heights and Friday night in downtown. If the man had not slapped the black man, everybody would have gone about their business.
So I told you about the national reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Your colleague, Mika Owens, came out with a press release. Have you seen that?
I have.
She says that.
Now listen. Her colleague, fellow councilwoman, a black woman at that, Mika Owens, came out and went against her. She didn't back her. Listen to me. Listen to me, family. Let me talk to my family. Far too many times, and this is why I'm doing this. Far too many times. Hold on, let me Let me make this so y'all can see me for a minute. Hold on for a second. All right, I got you. Yeah, hold on. Far too many times in this country, our people are too afraid to step out and say something, right? Far too many times. And the people that's even next to her, they are afraid to speak out because Mika Owens is younger. She's more worried about her career and advancing herself forward. This woman is an elder. She's about to retire. She's not seeking re-election. So she's speaking her mind walking out the door. But the other people, they don't have her back going forward. The same way they don't have her back, those 5 other people that's arrested, they don't have their back. And I'm asking, how far are we willing to take this story? Because once you have your vice president speaking out, they in trouble, y'all. They in serious trouble. I feel like sometimes the Most High opened up doors. I feel like Most High is hearing our arguments. But how far are we willing to take it? Well, sometimes, you guys, I'm going to tell you guys something before I play some more. Sometimes we have to get smart. We have to use propaganda the same way that they use propaganda and use it to our advantage. We have leverage right now, and we need to use our leverage right now. We need to use these 5 people that was arrested for this crime, right, as a catapult to push foundational Black American rights. We need to use this. The door is open, but are we willing to walk in that door? We need to every day be screaming to the top of the mountains that you're not going to do to us what you constantly been doing. And the media has been portraying us in a manner in which we've been fighting since 1800s. They're calling us thugs and victims and criminals. Where when I showed you guys, right, we represent 53% of all exonerations not being treated right in the system because of the way that we're viewed. We're viewed in the way that's derogatory. Whether you're a lawyer or a thug on the block with the hot clock, they view you all the same. And we're no longer going to go for this. So when you see Miss Parks, the elder, speaking up in the manner in which she's speaking, my foundational Black Americans, if we're saying, now it becomes a practice. See, y'all got me in my bishop mode right now. Now it becomes a practice. Now we get to see what we're really about. Because the Most High has opened up a door for us to walk in and now give it power. Because remember, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. Now it's time for them, the African immigrants, the Caribbean immigrants, white folks, all of them, to put some respect on our names. But the ball is in our court. What we going to do? Because see, if we sit here quiet and we allow them, we sit here quiet and we allow them to do what they plan to do to these 5 people, then that's our fault. And then how you expect people to take you serious? We're supposed to use this and propagandize it the same way that they propagandize it. We're supposed to be condemning the media right now. And I'm calling out all of the FBA platforms, the large FBA platforms, to run this 24, to keep running this in a cycle. I'm calling all of y'all out, and I'm telling the people that support the platforms on the grassroots level, we have to make this an issue. This has to be an issue. We have to challenge Vice President J.D. Vance on coming on national TV and calling these foundational Black American thugs when he didn't even know the whole story. So my brother Jason Black, nothing else to talk about right now but this. Right now, it's hot. Because if we don't, we already know what they're going to do to him. It's hot. This is where we at. FBA is not just a lineage, it's a lifestyle, it's a practice. Let's play some more.
She starts by saying that, you know, you're a wonderful civil servant. Your service is deeply appreciated. However, making comments that inflame a violent incident is never acceptable.
I
think
didn't see that part, David.
yeah, that's what she said.
And so you want me to comment on it? I have no comment. She is, you know, she's.
Hey, now listen, let me teach you guys something. What the W man just did was try to run interference. See, it's crafty counsel in the house, and a lot of these people are very, very, very crafty and manipulating things and words and using us to go against each other. What he just did was he brought up the black woman Mika Owens, and he mentioned a comment that Victoria Parks didn't hear. So now what he's looking for is for Victoria to say some disparaging things about Mika Owens. But Victoria is a savvy veteran. She's not going to do it. He's trying to draw conflict between the black women that's on the city council, so that way they can infiltrate and create the atmosphere they want to throw these people away. But Victoria's not dumb. She understands the assignment and what she's up against. This is what he's doing. He's doing it with a straight face, very calm. Let me tell you what your colleague said about you. And that goes to show you what they think about us, because they don't think that we're cerebrally intelligent enough to understand the tactics when they come with these tactics. And this is why I'm talking to the man in which I'm talking today, and I can't help it. I'm in my bishop. Because the message has to be like nurturing food in your belly, that you can take all the nutrients and you can flush out all the things you don't need. You can take all the nutrients and you can become the better versions of understanding how this enemy works. And now you have better tools and better understanding in dealing with these people, because he's very crafty in the questions that he's asking. But that's how the W man works.
Free to have her opinion, and so am I. And I'm not stepping down. And as far as the national attention that I am garnering, it's surprising, because there's so much more happening in this world that needs attention.
Do you think that this entire thing has been blown out of proportion?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. That's another trap question. That's another trap question. Do you think that this is, now listen, let's take all the emotion out for a minute. And let's look at this as a blank canvas for a minute. Take out all the emotion, y'all. All the emotion. Take a deep breath of woosah and let's slow down, right? Watch this. With all of the outrage from the media and the uproar from white America, and the vice president calling them thugs and speaking out, senators alike speaking, the mayor, the governor, everybody speaking, he came right to this woman, the city councilwoman, and asked her, do you think all of this is blown out of proportion? So the minute she says yes, it becomes a firestorm. City councilwoman said that this is blown out of proportion. Black America is not taking this seriously. These were victims, and they run with it. So you have to take the emotion out of the enemy and look and study him. You won't get your hands bloody, but you have to study him. Keep listening to him. Look at his face. He's very crafty. Very crafty. And they're masters at this. And when you take the emotionalism out of it, you can see him. He knows what he's doing when he's asking this question.
Yeah, this is huge. You know, they talk about, the violence in Cincinnati streets, and we, as civil servants, we work on it. We pay attention to it. When someone is hurt, it hurts us. We take it as our jobs to do the very best that we can to provide an environment where people live productive and rich lives. And so when things like this happen, it's hurtful. I saw where our police department has been criticized. What I saw was our police department doing a wonderful job Friday and Saturday night. And so I just take exception to it, and I reserve the right to do it.
The police are calling the Caucasian guy that got beaten down
See this?
a victim. Do you see it that way? Should he be arrested as well?
Yes, he should be arrested
Uh-oh.
for assault.
Does it bother you that he hasn't been?
I believe that he will be.
Does it bother you that he hasn't been arrested yet when
At this point.
3 others
Um,
have?
Well, I know that that the police department is working on it. They're working as fast as they can, providing getting all the proof that they need. So um, I am I am patient. I am patiently waiting for everything to come out. I fully expect for there to be consequences to the man's actions. You know, and David is too. You know, I don't celebrate the fact that he got beat up, but
We see this. We got 137 people in. I got the links in there. If you guys want to support my nonprofit, Urban Nerves, you guys can donate through the Cash App, or you can go to our website. I got the website there. You can donate through PayPal, Venmo. You can donate through if my Ma's in there. You'll get those links and keep posting those links in the chat for me. The website, they can donate through PayPal, Venmo, or you can donate through the Cash App. It's the summertime. We got some stuff going on with the kids. Man, we putting in this work. But I want y'all to keep let's keep going. Doug, my brother Doug, who else I got in there? My mods. Get my mods in there. Let me get all right, let's keep going.
also understand why he got beat up, and I believe he does too. I'm sorry it happened, but
When you
you know
say,
there are actions and reactions, and it has seemed to me that he was looking for trouble, and so he got trouble.
certainly you could not be advocating violence.
By no means. You know, absolutely not. I'm not advocating violence. But, you know, like with so many things in life, there are conversations that Black parents have with their children. You know, the one about if a police stops you, make sure that your hands stay visible. Well, there's another conversation. And you never start a fight with the white person. But if they hit you first, that becomes a reason for all of the frustration and hurt and terror for of generations, historical generational pain to be released. And I believe that's what happened Friday night.
So, do you think that this is becoming a political football?
Yes, yes, I do. And it's an opportunity that is unfortunate. Um, you know, because I mean, really, don't they have something better to do? We have so much more to do in this city than, you know, for them to pick at me. As long as I have been serving this community, my background, my record stands for itself. I have the right to my opinion. And for
No, you don't.
Bertie Marino and everybody else to pay attention to when I wrote 2 sentences, I think that they've just been waiting for something because we are a democratic city. And at this point, they can't get in. And so they're looking for a reason.
Many people may have.
Hey Big E, if you in there, hey Big E, if you watching, say something in the chat so I can give you a wrench. I got Naeem, I just gave you a wrench. I gotta give Monique watch been on here for a minute too. Let me give hold on, let me give Monique Robinson a wrench too, real quick. Hold on 1 second. All right. Yeah, if some of y'all can get the put them links in there for me. Let's get back to it real quick. Let's get back to it.
been thinking what you wrote, but to actually write it down in a public way, coming from a public official, I think has taken a lot of people back.
I see. I can understand that because I've never done it before. I think that a lot of people were thinking it, but they didn't say it, and I just did. Um, it is what was on my mind, and that's what I said. Um, I'm sorry he got beat up, but I'm also sorry that he agitated. And I saw what I saw, David. They can make it political. I think this was this man going down there to start trouble. That was his intention, and that's what he got.
Woo! Hey, listen, man. Listen. Hey, yo, man. She said, I saw what I saw. He went down there to start some trouble, and that's what he got. He got handled. And that's what she's saying, man. She said, listen, he went down there with that foolishness. He went down there with that foolishness, and he got took out to the woodshed. And he got his behind whipped. Man, listen, man. We gotta tighten up, man. As a people, look, let's go over to hold on a second. What's this here? Let's go over. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's switch it over from her. Let's go over here. Right? And we can see.
Well, a wild street brawl in downtown Cincinnati leads to multiple people charged. And this morning, 3 suspects faced a judge. Now, that fight was caught by several cell phone cameras. It went viral, and it's now been viewed all over the world. WLWT News 5's Rachel Whalen joins us live from the Hamilton County Justice Center. She has the very latest on these charges. Good afternoon, Rachel.
Good afternoon. 3 people, including one with a violent criminal past, now face felonious assault and aggravated riot charges after the chaotic fight downtown. While police say it was a coordinated attack, family members say there is more to the story. Montana's Meriwether, DeKira Vernon, and Jermaine Matthews are all charged with.
Hold on. I want y'all to see this, right? Now I want y'all to look. Because these are 3 black people, man. And what are we going to do? We're going to sit here and allow them to do the same thing they did to Ozone when he got locked up, or we're going to do something about it. We're going to say something about it. We're going to be loud about it. We're going to be boisterous about it. What we going to do, man? What we going to do? Amen. What we going to do? What?
And Jermaine Matthews are all charged with felonious assault and aggravated riots. Prosecutors say Meriwether was the catalyst in what they call coordinated attack. He was seen on video whispering to the victim just before the violence began. He was already out on bond for a separate gun and stolen property case. His bond was set at $500,000. Jermaine Matthews allegedly knocked a victim to the ground and hit another person. His attorney claims it started after the victim slapped him. Matthews was given a $100,000 bond, and DeKira Vernon is also accused of hitting a female victim and has an outstanding traffic warrant. Her bond was set at $200,000. Police say new surveillance video and viral social media videos are helping them piece together what happened, but family members of the accused say there is more to the story. Here's what Montana's Meriwether's mother had to say outside of court.
These Russians was walking down the street, and on the video, he said, "You want to mess with these Russians?" And he smacked the first guy, but it wasn't like they thugs. My child is in school. He had 5 kids. He's on the B honor roll in school. And he's not the thug that they put out in there to be.
Now, if you remember, Chief Terry Fiji said that anyone who used their hands to intend harm will be facing consequences no matter what side of the fight. So we will be looking out.
Let me find a video. Hold on. Watch this, y'all. Let's find what JD Vance. Let's find out. Let's look at what JD Vance said. Hold on. Let me type that in. I didn't have that up. I didn't have that queued up. Let me type that in. Hold on. Watch this, right? Let's look at what JD Vance. Cincinnati Brawl. Hold on. Let's see if we can pull that up real quick. When he was talking, let me see. Hold on, man. What the hell? Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna see if I got to be able to pull it up when he's talking. Oh, man, this is all 20. Hold on now. Oh man. There we go. There we go. Hold on.
Concerns do you have about that, given that that's your home city?
You said a street fight in Cincinnati? I have not seen this. Sorry, give me a little more background, Haley. I'm not sure about this.
There was a group of people who attacked a couple folks on the street in Cincinnati. Senator Bernie Moreno, some others have spoken out about it, have been critical of it.
Okay, yes. So what I saw, and I haven't seen the full context, but what I saw is a mob of lawless thugs beating up on an innocent person, and it's disgusting.
Now, mind you, remember when she mentioned it, he didn't even know what the hell she was talking about. He didn't even know what she was talking about. But then she went further, and he started to speak on something that he clearly had no clue about, right? Look at what he says. Now, mind you guys, this is the Vice President of the United States of America, not focusing on the federal government. He's talking about local situations that happen, right? And he adds fuel to the already burning fire. Watch what he say.
And I hope every single one of those people who engage in violence is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And they will be. They will be so long as law enforcement in the state of Ohio takes their job seriously. I know Dave Yost cares a lot about these things. But yeah, I actually, you're right. Bernie did send me a clip of this, and we talked a little bit about it. I don't know the full context. I don't know how the fight started. But the one part that I saw that was really gruesome is you had a grown man who sucker punched a middle-aged woman. And where I come from, at least, when you have a grown man who sucker punches a middle-aged woman, that person ought to go to jail for a very long time. And frankly, he's lucky there weren't some better people around, because they would have handled it themselves. But if they're not going to handle it, the cops in Cincinnati, the law enforcement, you've got to prosecute people. We've had way too much lawlessness on the streets of great American cities. How many of you all have wanted to go to downtown Akron or downtown Canton or downtown Columbus for a meal, but you're worried because the local authorities in these big cities have allowed lawlessness to run wild? We have got to make great American cities safe again for families and children. If you want to take your wife or your children out for a meal, you shouldn't be worried about street violence. And the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their asses in prison.
Now, mind you, I'm gonna tell you guys something, right? I'm gonna tell you guys something. He didn't know what the heck she was talking about. He's lying. Now, a lot of times they will have little like microphones and stuff in their ear, right? They would have like little microphones and stuff in their ear. So if somebody asks them a question that they don't know, they can respond to it. So when she first said what she said, he didn't know what she was talking about. And then he started to respond to what she said. So it was real simple. But again, as soon as you got the Vice President of the United States speaking on this, now it becomes a problem, right? So Cincinnati Brawl arrest, detectives say fight was coordinated by two suspects, right? The two men charged in a downtown Cincinnati fight that was caught on viral are accused of coordinating the assault. Montez Mayweather, 34, and Jermaine Matthews, 39, are facing charges in Hamilton County Municipal Court, including felonious assault and aggravated riot. Merriweather was out on bond when police said he was involved in the early morning brawl. So they're going to use that, right? They say he was out on bond, right? In downtown, he received a $500,000 bond in the July 30th arraignment. Mayweather was given $100,000 bond, although a judge is expected to set an additional bond July 31st. Extreme behavior, extreme violence, right? And this is all the adjectives and words that they're using to describe, right? So this is Mayweather 34 standing at the municipal court, right? And this is what they do. You got all these W folks. I mean, you know how they do in the courtroom. And this is the way that they're going to treat us. This is the way that they're going to view us. And what I'm saying is, this is the other guy, Jermaine Matthews, right? In court, right? When Matthews went in front of the man, he was slapped in the face. Fox said the detective said police are looking into the victim first striking Matthews. Blank added that before the slap, Matthews had been seen on video squaring up with another individual, right? So they're going to use all of these different things, right, to come at our people. Let me unshare for a minute before I share again, because I want to say something, right? Now let me say this again, because I want to say this and I want to talk about something else for 15 more minutes before we get out of here. I want to be done by an hour and a half, right? I want to know how far are we willing to take this? How far are we going to expand and go? Because if we don't, they're going to come for us. Now, this is the thing, right? So I had a conversation with one of my homies, and we were talking about thugs, and that term thugs, and that adjective that they use or that they use to explain young black boys, to the point where we even found we calling ourselves YNs and all of this foolishness, right? They use all of those terms to denigrate us or demean us, right? Oh yeah, he said, "Yeah, I'm back doing lives." He name dropped too, but I'm asking all of the black creators, how far are we going to push this? How far are we going to push this? Now I'm going to go to another subject to come back to this subject. I'm going to go to another subject. What I'm going to do, right? I'm going to pull this video up. I'm going to pull up this video. Where is it? Okay. Now this is what I want to say. From 2018 to 2023, we had things called, they was really pushing real hard the drill rap scene, right? And during the drill rap scene, you had young black boys across America and black cities unaliving each other at alarming rates. Coming out of the COVID shutdown, the murder rate skyrocketed. 2020, matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. Hold on for a second. Let me pull this up. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. So that way I can give illustration to what I'm trying to show you guys. Because I'm going to bring the point home. Hold on. What's taking this damn thing so long? Hold on for a second. All right. Now I'm gonna share my screen. Right. Let me pull up. Let me do another one real quick. Everybody, stay put. I want y'all to see this because this is important. And I'm gonna show you what they do. I'm gonna show you guys what they do and how to get away with doing this stuff to us. And we allow it because a lot of our people are ignorant. Oh shit. What the hell? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. If I can get it by the year. I want to see if I can get it by the year real quick. God damn, come on, man. No, not this one. I want to get Chicago homicides by the year. Hold on, this might be it here. I might be able to get it on this one. Wait a minute, because I want y'all to see this, because this is 20 2018 until 2025. Enter. Let me see. I might have it. Okay. Yep. Here we go. Got it. So now let me share my screen. I got it. Because I want to draw a parallel to something, right? I'm gonna draw a parallel. Now watch this, right? When you deal with, I want y'all to hear me, and I want y'all to hear me well. Coming out of COVID, all of a sudden you had young black boys wearing shiesty masks, and they was wearing these masks all over their face, all in Memphis, Brooklyn, Philly, right? And all of a sudden these kids was running around with switches, and they was I'm talking about in Philadelphia, gunshots with over 200 rounds on the ground, right? And from we went from 2017, right? This is not the coroner's report. This is the city report, right? So let's just say in 2017, we was at 315 homicides, but the coroner's report might say 420, right? Then we went, what are you coming to get? All right, go ahead. Then we go to 2018, right? We got 353. 2019, we go to 356. Then we go to the shutdown, 2020, right? We go to 499 homicides, right? This is the drill era. So now that the coroner's report said it was 575. Not just the city report. Then 2021, after the shutdown, we went to 562, right? And then a year after that, we went to 516, right? But that year when it was 562, it went up to, it was what, 701. It wasn't 562. It was 700 homicides, over 3,000 people shot, right? You get to 2023, it starts to taper off, right? And you go to 410. Then you get to 2024, Philadelphia had the largest drop in homicide rate. We went from 410 to 269, right? Let me move over to Chicago for a minute, because I want y'all to, I'm gonna draw a parallel. I want y'all to see something, right? Right? Coming out of the lockdown, Chicago went 779, 2001, 805, 2022, 715, 2023, 621, down to 573. So it made a significant drop, right? Now I'm gonna go over here. And I want to say something first. Before I play this video. I want y'all to see my face. I'm going to say something. Now, I want to say to all you young people out there, right? They use this stuff in the media, right? They give you all the ammunition that you need to unalive yourself. They got you. Shut up. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. They got you running around calling yourself a real nigga and a bad B, calling yourselves YNs. But I want you to know something. During that time of the drill, when those black boys was unaliving each other for that 4-year span, how many black boys were murdered in the country? How many black boys were murdered? Now, 4 years later, they're not talking about it no more. Drill rappers dying. They locking up all the drill rappers. They put them all in jail, putting them away forever. You young black boys are in courtrooms right now across America. Nobody talking about it. You're forgotten about. I'm making this video now for you young people that's outside. But what I'm about to show you is alarming, because I warned you guys when I was doing my live streams before. And I'm correlating this into J.D. Vance up on there calling young people thugs. They create the atmosphere. Because remember, you guys, we're not doing nothing in these inner cities that W folks didn't do first. They had the first gangs. They was the first drug dealers. They ran booze, cocaine, heroin. They make movies about it. They did everything first. They put you in a place called the projects. It's called a project. They were doing scientific experiments on you to see how you could place people in places, in boxes with limited resources and see how they behave, right? Then they created suburbs for their people and moved them out to suburbs. The first suburb was over here in New York, Levittown. And we have a Levittown here, was created by the Small Hats, right? They create Levittown. and then they put you in these concrete jungles where you start behaving the same way that they behaved there first, and then they use their media to demonize you for it. And that's how they get to falsely incarcerate you, and then you make up for 53% of all wrongful incarcerations, because they have a preconceived notion about you. So now when there's a crime in Cincinnati and the W folks are the perpetrators, they can easily call you a thug because they use their media. I'm asking my FBA family out there, where did these switches come from coming out of the COVID shutdown? Huh? How do all these young kids go online and they can buy the pieces to a gun and make it an automatic and run around with machine guns? And the murder rate skyrocketed before they brought it back down. Y'all gotta understand something. They have projected, they create the realities that you live in. They know what the murder rate going to be next year and the year after that. They have predictive programming. That's why they have agendas. That's why they have 2035 and 2030 agendas. They know what the agenda is going to be 5 years from now. But we have, in order to achieve that agenda, we have to create the environment to achieve that agenda. So they create these things. So now you have ghost guns. But where did the ghost guns come from to be in the communities where our young boys are killing each other? Huh? Coming out of the shutdown, the murder rate exploded way up here, right? Let me show you guys something. Remember I told you guys, everything is on a computer grid. You're being gentrified out of your communities. Where black people live is close proximity to center city. When they built those suburbs, they put them out way out in nowhere, where white folks will have to drive into the city 45 minutes to come to their jobs. Black people, the ghettos are within a mile or 2 miles from the center city area where people work. And it's on in Philadelphia, New York City, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit. The ghettos are sitting on property that's worth millions, and they want that property back. So they create the atmosphere to bring the property value down and plummet it. So they can come in and buy it for cheap, gentrify you out, and make it unaffordable for you to live there, right? And they put everything on the grid. And while they got you calling yourself real nigga and bad B, they doing this to you. Watch this. Watch this. Because I warned you guys. I warned you. But a lot of y'all ain't listening. It's going on deaf ears. Hold on, let it come on. They want to speak. They spinning it now because they know I'm in the grease now. Now I'm in the grease. Hold on. Let's give it a minute. Look.
And a nonprofit is helping law enforcement agencies all over the U.S. with criminal surveillance.
And with fewer officers on the street, the organization is using security cameras to put more eyes in high crime areas. Rebecca Castor live in New Orleans to show us how it all works. Rebecca.
Natalie, Anthony, it is quite the operation. Inside the building behind me, over 10,000 video feeds from across the country are streaming here instantly. And we got to look inside this nonprofit to see how it's filling in the gaps for police agencies that are still struggling for manpower.
This, of course, is one of our monitoring rooms. You're currently seeing cameras from different parts of the country, California, Florida, New Jersey, and then many.
Whoa. Let's back up because y'all need to listen. You are seeing cameras from all over the country. Everything is on the grid. The urban criminal is obsolete. They don't need you no more. The bang bang everywhere gang, the bang bang. And I'm telling you guys, you young people, you are going to jail. And they use this to justify calling us thugs. See, we've never got a chance to clean up the certain percentage of our communities that we've been talking about reparations and things that need to be repaired. No, they don't want to repair you. They're going to use you after they put you in a project. They knock them down. They spread you throughout the city. And now they have everything on a grid where they can see if you got a gun in your car from their cameras. They have infrared. They can see everything. So now they put all of this out here and they can listen. When you thought you committed crime and you thought you got away, no. See, the urban areas that you live in now, they come in to commandeer them. They want them back. And they bind them up for cheap. So they got to get you out of there. So when you came out of the shutdown, they had you just wiping each other out first. They incarcerate large numbers. I need you guys to understand from 2019 to 2023, how many black boys of that drill scene in black cities across America have been incarcerated or murdered, right? Have been incarcerated or murdered. Now they have the computer grid and cameras where they're getting you out of here, right? So let's
It's in between.
Former New Orleans police officer Brian Lagarde is the brains behind Project NOLA, the largest network of community crime cameras in the U.S.
The job's tough. We see a lot of bad things. We see some of the worst that humanity has to offer. Part of what makes it worth it is knowing that we're helping justice be served.
Using AI, the cameras alert Project NOLA if they pick up illegal activity, and law enforcement can review video. Any homeowner, business owner, school, or church can request a Project NOLA camera for free.
Hold on for a second. Hey, listen, right? Listen, Tim, Asar, whatever. If you come over into this space, right? You come into somebody else's house and you're being disrespectful, but you're not coming in to try to see why, as foundational Black Americans, that we talk the way we talk. See, I'm a FBA, but I'm not really with all the banging or talking bad about people or people talking bad about us. But if you come into my house and you're behaving in the manner in which you're behaving, you're showing me disrespect. And you're showing a person disrespect that didn't disrespect you. So now I'm gonna ask you to sit down at the table, show some respect to other Black people, listen to what we teaching. If you have a different opinion, you can leave, or I'll just ask my moderators to block you. But you can't come in my house and behave like that, right? You're more than welcome as long as you show respect when you're in my house. So if he continues with the disrespect, get him out of here. That's all. Yeah, so I mean, when you come into you in my home, so I expect the same respect in my home that you would respect. Yeah, just chill, because you don't know what my position is. So what I'm saying is, if you're a grown man, you're responsible for yourself. Don't come into my house behaving in a manner which you might have saw other people do, because now you're disrespecting me, and I've shown you no disrespect. So don't act like a nigga that they say that we behave like. Behave like a Black man. Come into my living room and show me the respect that I'm giving everybody else. That's what I'm asking from you. Let me proceed.
Only paying a fee of about $300 a year for cloud storage.
Business owners, residents are realizing the importance to help their local law enforcement. It is a community effort that you cannot, especially with manpower issues right now, law enforcement, it's virtually impossible for them to do it alone. They need the public's assistance.
These are cameras Project NOLA is allowing us to show publicly for this story, but oftentimes their team is in this room watching cameras in crime-ridden neighborhoods with gang violence and drug deals.
We get to know them pretty well by watching what they're doing, who's controlling them, as we're helping to work up cases on them.
This year alone, Lagarde says the cameras have helped law enforcement on hundreds of cases. And with violent crime spiking in New Orleans.
Look at this. Look how they messing with the stream now all of a sudden. Look at this. Look at here. See, what happens is when you get on here and you really start getting into the teaching and breaking stuff down, none of this stuff was messing up. Look at this. Why am I experiencing spinning? You know what? I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let it be. Because they playing, man. They playing with me. Let me unshare.
There is no American dream if you don't feel safe. I absolutely think it's one of the best solutions possible.
When we talk about video surveillance, people often wonder about privacy. Because Project NOLA is a nonprofit, it does not sell any of its.
All right, let me say this. Let me unshare because I'm not going to be too much longer. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. What the hell? All right, well, hold on for a second. I'm over here messing up. I ain't been over here in so long. Damn, how the fuck? How do I get it to full screen? I forgot how to do this shit. All right, there we go. So let me say this. Let me say this to the family out there, right? Our image is everything, and we have to fight to protect our image. We have to fight to protect our well-being, the way we've been looked at in the court systems. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this twofold. The reason why I showed this video of everything is on the grid and the computer, they use this technology to further demonize Black Americans, right? When they know the truth, right? They use this. And when you see JD Vance get up there, hold on. Let me say this in my chat room. I don't want nobody on here arguing about an immigrant or who's an immigrant or not. The teacher's teaching. Let me teach. This is our problem too. Some of you immigrants, you come in here and you being disrespectful in somebody else's home, where I didn't call nobody a tether. I didn't disrespect anybody. Respect the home, that when you come into somebody else's house, show respect. I'm teaching. I shouldn't have to read comments where I see the people that's watching me get into arguments with somebody in my chat room about that's not about what I'm teaching about. That's nigga shit. If let's stay on topic of what this brother is laying down, so that way when we leave here, we can leave here edified. We can leave here with information on what we need to do. But if you're being distracted because people is being a distraction in my chat inside my house, where I didn't cause no distraction, something's wrong there. Something's wrong with you. So let's proceed. And we need to get focused on FBA business. Right? For me, I don't have per se too much smoke for immigrants. Only thing I tell the immigrants that come into America, a lot of times I live in Philadelphia, like I said in the beginning of the video, and I say this at the end of the video. You have some that's 10 toes down, that's cool. I work out in the gym every day. I got some African homies from Ivory Coast, from Mauritania, and from Zimbabwe that's homeboys. They my homies. I love them brothers to death. But then you have your coons and sellouts. Only thing I'm saying to a lot of the immigrants, right? When you come here, learn the history of the Black Americans. Don't come here and say that we don't have history. When you look, when you was in your country, you saw successful Black people here, and that's the reason why you came here. You came here because you saw successful Black people. You saw what we was doing, how it was impacting the world globally, right? As a people, you saw us. So, do I think that every immigrant is a tether? No, but let me tell the immigrants something. All a tether is equivalent to a Black American coon who sell out his people, who come here and sell out his group. He leaves his country, don't give a damn about the people back home, make something of himself, never go back to his country to help his people. And then while he's in a foreign country, he looks down on the Black people that's there. Then you are a tether. Yes. It's the same as a coon, a Sambo that's here in America talking down on his own people. Right? So I want you guys to understand. So I'm gonna give you some education to my immigrant brothers and sisters. We fought for you guys to come here so that way you can come and become the best version of yourself. So that way we can get our numbers up and we can fight against W supremacy. We didn't fight for you guys to come here and be against us and say, look at those Akatas or those Black Americans, we doing better. You're not doing better than us. You are doing what we fought for you to come here to do. We fought so you come here and be doctors, that you can open up stores. There's no xenophobia. You're not running for your life from Black Americans in Philadelphia, Black Newark, Black New York. You're not running from your lives from Black Americans. We're not practicing xenophobia on you. Stop using those terms to justify or explain an argument. No, I don't listen. I'm not with all the internet. If you disagree, you a tether all that. I'm not with none of that. What I have a problem with is you coming here and you're not educated to our story and our plight. When my grandparents fought for you to come here so we can have enough numbers to fight against W supremacy as one people, a global Pan-African way of thinking. But we found out that you guys don't practice Pan-Africanism. We didn't know that in Africa, Nigerians and Ghanaians don't like each other. If you're Nigerian and you go to South Africa, you are a foreigner. Y'all not practicing Pan-Africanism. So what we're saying is, you got to come here and educate yourself to who we are and show some respect to the house that you in. I'm not going to go to Nigeria or Ghana or South Africa and start disrespecting them, calling them lazy and talking down to them in somebody else's house. I'm going to show respect to the African's house that I'm in. I'm not going to go to Jamaica and start saying disparaging things about Jamaicans. Why would I ever do something like that? I'm not going to do that. So what I'm saying is, I want you guys to understand that you're not doing nothing that we haven't already done. Everything that you're accomplishing in this country, Black Americans did it first, so you can do it. And you came when the coast was clear. You looked over the mountain and said, hey, it's successful Black people there. My government is not allowing me to achieve these things, but because I saw successful Black Americans, we're going to go there and we're going to achieve. We're happy for you. We're glad that you're here doing great. What we don't like is the disrespect. That's what we're talking about. So all we're saying is, don't come here and be disrespectful. Stop going tone deaf to what we're saying. We saw what was when I was growing up in America, everything was about restoring Africa, fighting for free Mandela, fighting for red, black, and green medallions. This is a Black thing. That's what we was taught. But then we start finding out that when some of y'all, not all, when some of y'all was coming over here, y'all was saying disparaging things. Now let me say this too, because sometimes y'all like to say, y'all made fun of us. Y'all said that we was dirty and we stank. Listen to me closely. I'm gonna say this slow. I'm gonna take the emotion out of it. I'm gonna say it slow. Everything that we called you guys, we called each other first. That's part of Black American culture, our humor. We took our pain. The reason why we got the funniest comedians on the planet, because we took a lot of our funniness comes from pain. We took our pain and made it of something funny. A lot of times when we're busting on you, we're ingratiating you into the culture. We're bringing you in. All you got to do is bust back. We're bringing you in. We're telling you we love you. We used to bust on each other. The term tar baby, Black stuff, we do that to each other. Us busting on you didn't mean we didn't like you. We love you. We always love y'all. You know how I know we love you? Because our history shows it. Malcolm X is not who not Malcolm X. Stokely Carmichael don't become Stokely Carmichael if we don't love you. Farrakhan don't become Farrakhan if we don't love you. Marcus Garvey don't become Marcus Garvey if we don't love you. Schomburg don't become Schomburg if we don't love you. I can go on and on and on and on and on. We have a history of loving you guys. We've always loved y'all. We don't, listen, we patronize your stores. You live the American dream off of our dollar. We love you. What we're saying is educate yourself to our history. Know who we are. Stop saying that we don't have culture when you know that we do. Stop trying to benefit. If we don't have culture, then don't come here and go to our HBCUs. Don't benefit from the things that were specifically supposed to be for us that you benefit from, then turn around and talk bad about us. That's the only thing we're saying. All the other stuff that y'all making up now, you have stuff online where you have people being disrespectful. I'm not a part of that. Hey. Yeah, I'm not a part of that. I'm not a part of that. I'm not really with all the wars and all that. I'm not with none of that. I believe foundational Black Americans should focus on themselves and start working. And I believe this. The same way you can come to America and you can fly your Ugandan flag, you can fly your Ghana flag, your South African flag, and you can be your own people. Fair enough. We're not mad at that. But the minute we say, hey, anybody can be Black. So anybody can be Black or African and all those things. We want to have our own identity. We're not saying that we're not African or saying we don't have African DNA. Everybody's African, because if you go by the theory, everybody came from Africa. But we are our own people. Now, we have some people that say we're not African here. Some of our brothers and sisters, they say that we're indigenous. I respect them too. I respect their right to say that. So let me rephrase that, because I made that statement. There are a lot of our people that are saying that they're not African. And they have every right to say that. But just because they say that don't mean that they hate Africans. They're well within their rights to say that. And I respect their right to say that. Hell, I have it. My grandfather was born on a Muskogee reservation. So what I'm saying is, we've been through an ethnogenesis to the point where we have our own culture, our own food, our own way of life. Y'all know this because y'all was copying what we were doing. Burna Boy copied us. When you see reggae, reggae was copied, the tenets of it from Black American culture. And then they went and made it their own. You don't see us going saying we invented reggae. Because we didn't. Jamaicans created reggae. We respect the Jamaicans and their reggae culture. I love their oxtails. I love their women. I love their foods. I love my Jamaican family. Right? I love my Haitian family, my Cuban family. I love them all. Because all of them are not bad. But what we're saying is you have to listen to what we're saying and respect what we're saying, what we're putting out. The respect have to go both ways. You can't come on here and say that we don't have culture, or when we say, why don't you ask why we want to delineate? Why? Because what I found out, you already delineating in Africa. You're not practicing Pan-Africanism. You practice separatism. You have your own cultures, your own groups, your own languages, your own flags, your own everything. So the minute we want to do it, we can't. We're wrong. Come on, that don't even sound right. The reason why you don't want us to do it, because you want to benefit from POC, people of color, and have all of our issues pigeonholed it into this people of color spectrum. You want to have it right there. So now we saying, yo, no, we ain't people of color. We foundational Black Americans, and we want things specific for us. We know that the Africans, they're the Jamaicans, that's our cousins, but we ain't got nothing to do. That don't have nothing to do with what we asking for. They can't come in and continue to benefit from us while they're not respecting us or understanding our culture. We have every right to do that. Because if 1 million of us went into Ghana right now and the government started to give us things that were supposed to be for Ghanaian people, y'all would want to unalive us. Y'all would be upset. So we're taking a stand. We're saying something about it. We have every right to say something about it. We have every right. We have every right. And we have a history of loving you guys, opening up our communities. Y'all come here and sleep with our women. We sleep with your women. We have a whole history of being together. But for some reason, there's like this thing when y'all say that we don't have a culture. Y'all come here, y'all become doctors, lawyers, dentists, and y'all say y'all outperforming us and doing better. I think y'all understand something. We're glad that y'all doctors and lawyers and dentists. That's what we fought for y'all to do it. But don't come here and say that y'all doing something that we haven't done. Don't do that. That's the argument. That's the argument. So for George, brother George, I'm a grown man. I'm not with all the arguing and fighting, and I'm not with all that. If you say something I disagree with, where your family from, and calling you a tether and just calling everybody tethers, I don't do that. I'm more focused on FBA business. What we need to do is foundational Black Americans in this country for ourselves. That's my focus is that. I'm not really with all that. It's too much. It's too much. But I'm gonna be doing live streams more. In the comment section of this video, you guys can leave me. What I want you guys to do is leave me subject matters that y'all want me to talk about more. I think I'm gonna do live streams like twice a week. I'm gonna start live streaming again twice a week to the people. If I can get the numbers in like this, I'll live stream and I'm gonna talk about current topics and things like that. But the dialogue, I want us to have the dialogue with me. Every immigrant ain't a tether, but every tether is an immigrant. Yes, that's true. But every immigrant ain't a tether. You got some immigrants that fully understand what George Macon just laid out here, and they respect it. They love it, right? You got some that hear exactly what I said, and because they don't respect me as a Black American, they're gonna go tone deaf, and they're not gonna listen to nothing I say, and they're gonna echo all the sentiments that W America says about us. That's just the way it works sometimes. So as Black Americans, we gotta focus on us. We got to focus on us. Right. And they make up these statements like they outperforming us. Let me see what some of y'all saying. Hold on. I'm so blind now, man. I can't see nothing, bro. This thing crazy, man. Yeah, so we just need to focus more. We need to focus more on what we doing. The reason why I asked for oh shit, hold on. The reason why we were asking for donations early on, because it's the summertime and we got some things going on. When Trump came into office, Trump cut a lot of the funding, federal funding. So a lot of money that would go out that would have went to nonprofits and stuff, they rolled everything back to the state. So a lot of money was not allocated in the manner in which it should have been allocated. So hold on. Well, let's see if it's spin, because this thing been spinning like crazy, like acting real crazy. But we out here. Hey, look at this, look how it's spinning, y'all. Like this thing acting goofy as hell, man. Look at this. Wow. I wonder why it's doing that though. I'm gonna give it a minute for it to come back in. Let it play over there on the side. Like they literally doing this shit to my content. Like I'm a lot of times, man, if I was over here talking about a black woman's butt and drill music, I wouldn't have this problem. But like, and it's still spinning. It ain't bounced back. It ain't fixed yet. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is crazy work, man. I can't even X out of it. Let me see. So I can't fast forward it. So this is some of the work that we're doing. Wow, it's still spinning. Man, that's crazy. I can't even show the work, bro. I'm kind of salty, man. I want to be able to show the work before we get out of here. They won't even let me do it. I don't know why this joint's spinning like that. But let me just say, Louisiana Purchase was made because we kicked the French butt and they ran out of money. So, and we did it without the weapon. We beat the greatest army in the world at that time, just with the limited weapons and things that we had. But it's not their job to tell you our story. So that's not our core problem. This is one of our core problems. He's an enemy to that. He's not. You have to know the history of your people. So from 1790 all the way through 1804, we was kicking behind. So the Haitian Revolution represents the history of our people and some of our freedoms, and one of the rebellions that actually got us free. All right, come on. Now, listen. Y'all know where this is at? This is in West Philly, on 63rd Osage Avenue. So that's just a short preview of some of the things that we got going on and things that we're doing in the city. I'm gonna unshare because I'm ready to get out. I got to get out of here. But that's just some of the things that we got going on. So if you guys want to donate, you can donate through the website, through PayPal, Venmo. You can donate through the Cash App. We got all of those in there, man. And we in there. We out here doing the work. So I'll say this, man. Remember, I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator most high that these words are enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information. And when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that we share this information on all the social media mechanisms that we use to get the message across. On a water cooler. At the job. I mean, pillow talking with your significant other, watching, just sitting down with the family. We got to start having conversations about our communities and about our well-being and where we're going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. These things are important for the Black community. We're being gentrified out. Our rights are being taken away from us. We finding out we have new friends. We're being called thugs and criminals. There's so many different things. We've been attacked on all kinds of fronts, and we got to start asking questions about who's leading us. Who are the mouthpiece for the Black foundational Black Americans? Who are that which we are trusting to speak on behalf of us as we go forward and embark on these new endeavors that as time slips into the future? Where are we going? Right? Who are we? Who are we going to become? What type of legacy are we leaving for our children and grandchildren that's going to come inherit? That's what we left. What are we doing? Are we looking forward by the next 10 to 15 years? Huh? Are we looking forward? Are we staying traumatized and complacent in the position we're in and now creating nothing for the generation coming behind us? What are we doing? We've seen what the vice president is calling our people. We know that. We've seen the sellouts that we have amongst our group. What are we saying for ourselves as Black Americans? We see that there's an issue going on with some of the immigrants that's coming into the country. What do we want for ourselves as a people going forward? Who do we want speaking for us as a people going forward? And that's why at the end of all my videos, I say I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator most high that these words was enough to inspire you. These words was enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. If it ain't for that, then what is it for? Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.